Hello, I'm Jonathan Field from PTFS Europe, and I'd like to talk to you today about public and private reports in Koha. So you may have noticed when you look under the reports module that in your saved reports, there's a couple of columns that relate to public and private reports, and also a column marked the JSON URL. These columns are there so that you can switch reports from being either private or public. The benefit of having public reports is that you can share reports with external bodies and potentially allow people to consume data from Koha in JSON format. So, as I mentioned, there are two columns. First of all, a column marked public. You can see that this report is not public, whereas the one below is public. And then the column called the JSON URL. And you'll notice a subtle difference in these two URLs. The non-public report has a base URL that has the staff client's base URL. And you'll notice that the public report has the OPAC's base URL. And these values are set in the system preferences under the fields marked OPAC base URL and staff client base URL. So if we perhaps have a look first of all at one of the non-public reports, if we just copy the URL, link URL, and open a new tab and paste that in, then you can see that at the moment we have access to that. And the reason we have access to that is because I'm already authenticated as a user in the Koha staff client. However, if I take that URL and this time open a private window, which won't know about my credentials, and again paste that in, you can see that this time it's prompting me for a login and password. So it requires me to authenticate before I can see this data. If we have a look at the public report, the one here, third one down, marked as public, again, I'll copy this link and I'll open a new tab and paste the URL in. And this time you can see the data is there and you can see it's structured in JSON format. And again, if I open a private window and paste the URL in again, this time we immediately get access to that data because it is public report. So that's the specific difference between the public and the private reports. You'll notice that the URL for the public report has a parameter at the end which has the ID equals 14. That is the ID of the report in Koha, which you can see on the far left-hand column. There is also an option to create the report based on its report name rather than the report ID. So if I copy this in this time and change the parameter to name equals branch checkouts, we get the same results. So we can use either the report ID or the report name. Now, as you're probably aware, if you have reports that have any kind of interaction with them, so they prompt you perhaps for a date range or for an item type or for a branch code, those variables which are stored in reports can't be used in a public report. They'll cause the report to fail with no data coming through. So in order to share a public report, it needs to have those variables already pre-populated in the report, otherwise it won't work. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an overview of public and private reports. Thank you very much for watching. This is Jonathan Field from PTFS Europe.